Here are 7 ways to prepare for a natural birth. Hi, I'm Sarah, and I'm a certified professional midwife and founder of Heaven Sent Homebirth. And today I want to go over 7 ways that are midwife approved, things that I have seen over a decade of me being in the birth space. These are all tried and trues. The first one I would encourage you to do is to nourish your body. This means eating whole foods. Stay away from fast foods or processed foods. Anything that is a whole food ingredient, meaning a piece of meat, rice, vegetables, piece of fruit. Anything with one ingredient is considered a whole food or a homemade item. A combination of things that you can pronounce that you could buy at the store and combine and create this food. That is considered a whole food. I also recommend that you include meats, beans, and greens into your diet. All of those things are high in protein, high in iron, and high in fiber, which are very important for nutrition during pregnancy. I would encourage you to focus on hydration, even add electrolytes every once in a while to make sure that you are getting enough salts and trace minerals. Consider adding in teas like Nora tea or red raspberry leaf or nettle. They're hydrating and they pack a lot of nutrition. I also recommend that you get regular sunshine. At least 15 minutes a day can help you keep your vitamin D levels up without taking a supplement. Vitamin D has a lot of protective qualities to it during pregnancy. It can help prevent a lot of complications. Number 2 is to stay active and aligned. Daily movement and exercise is not just for burning calories. It's really helpful during pregnancy for your circulatory system. It helps keep your heart healthy and strong. It keeps your lymphatic system working well, so that way you have less swelling, and it's also good for your digestion. I also recommend looking up spinning babies. If you haven't heard of that already, Google them. They're amazing, but they are very good resources if you suspect that your baby could be in a position that's not ideal. They also have some recommendations for some daily movements that helps keep your baby aligned so that you can have as smooth of a labor as possible. I also recommend chiropractic support. If you have any sciatic pain or chronic headaches or hip pain or just different things coming up during pregnancy that's pretty common, regular chiropractic care can help in those areas. Number 3 is to surround yourself with encouragement. Listen to positive birth stories. It is always amazing to me that when people share that they're pregnant with friends and family, or even just some random woman at a grocery store, it's like it opens the door for people to share their traumatic stories. I don't know why they do it. I wish they would stop. But because of that, it's not hard to get caught up in that and to only think negative things about childbirth. And surround yourself with encouragement. Find positive birth stories to read. 2 of my favorite books that are full of positive birth stories is Ina May's Guide to Childbirth and Journey into Motherhood. Those are wonderful books that are just packed full of natural birth stories. Try and limit any fear-based TV or social media. Sometimes it's just sensationalized. When bad things happen, it's sensational and it gets them views and it gets them clicks. So those are the things that are highly ranked. Unfortunately, that's a lot of TV shows. That's a lot of news stories. So if you find yourself gravitating to a lot of those and you think that that's causing you some anxiety, please stay away. Number 4 is to prepare yourself mentally. Birth is largely mental. You want to learn how to practice breath work and relaxing your body. When we get really stressed and tense, we tend to tense up our bodies. We tend to clench our teeth, ball our fists, keep tension in our neck and our shoulders. You want to practice doing the opposite. When you feel yourself getting stressed, recognize where you're holding tension in your body and take a deep breath and try and relax that muscle group. It takes practice sometimes. Some of us are just more highly wound than others. I also recommend taking a childbirth class, and not just one that is given by the hospital. Take an independent childbirth class. Someone who has lots of good reviews, maybe someone who has been a doula or someone that has worked in birth work for a long period of time. These independent instructors are some of the best. They can help give you ideas, prepare, help you know what is normal, help you learn techniques that your husband can help you do or that you can practice by yourself. But it can be paramount to just bringing a sense of normality to the childbirth process and give you some confidence. 5 is plan your birth space. Choose comfort items like a comb, some worship music, candles, twinkle lights, scripture cards. Just go all out. It's never going to be harmful, and it can only just help create this surrounding environment of love and support and encouragement. If you're going to a hospital, it can be a little bit more challenging to set up that birth space, but you can still bring certain items like a Bluetooth speaker, you can bring earphones, you can bring an eye mask, you can bring probably not an actual candle with a flame, but you can bring flameless candles and then turn the lights off. There's lots of ways that you can create a really welcoming space. I also recommend making sure that you have your birth kit and your birth supplies already packed, already ready well ahead of time. It just takes away an extra element of stress and helps you feel prepared. Discussing your birth preferences and creating a birth plan ahead of time as well. That will give you some good insight on whether or not your care provider is truly going to support your wishes or if it's time to explore other options. Number 6 is to get spiritually strong. Birth is also a spiritual experience. Journal, pray, listen to scripture, listen to worship songs. However it is that you feel spiritually safe and sound and supported, you need to explore those. Invite God into every stage of your pregnancy. You can ask your pastor or priest to give you a blessing or a family member to pray over you. But what this does is it helps you be able to surrender and give some of your anxieties over to God. The truth is, we cannot control childbirth. You cannot control your birth, and you cannot just muscle through your birth either. There is a big element of surrender to natural childbirth, and without it, we just can't cope and get through that. So I want you to try and adopt a spirit of surrender. One of the best ways to do that is usually to feel spiritually sound. Now, this isn't me telling you that you have to just adopt the spirit of surrender and do everything that your provider tells you to do. That's not what I mean. I mean surrender to your body, to labor, to the waves, to the contractions. Surrender to God's plan. That's what I mean by adopting a spirit of surrender. And the last one is to prioritize sleep. Sleep is anti-inflammatory. I know that sounds funny, but during the time period when we sleep, our body detoxifies, it reboots, it relaxes, it resets. Sleep is an important component to our health. If you are having a really hard time sleeping, talk to your midwife and care provider about it. Think about what kind of routines you have in the evening time. Maybe set an alarm that says this is when our phones get turned off and we no longer scroll TikTok or whatever it is that we do on our phones. Try to create relaxing routines like taking a bath, get a new pillow, take magnesium, spray lavender oil on your bed, whatever it takes. Try to create a relaxing atmosphere and prioritize the sleep that you need. And it helps ensure that we aren't already exhausted when labor starts. If you feel like labor is starting, go to bed. I'm not joking. That's actually my number one bit of advice. That if you feel like labor is starting, try and lay down and get some sleep. Try to help ensure that you have as much energy as you can possibly muster before the real work begins. And if you would like a printable version of today's video, head on over to heavensentbirth.com and download your copy. I hope that was helpful, and I hope you have a great day. Take care.